As we all know, not all 3-4-3s or 3-5-2s are made equal, right? So theirs looks like a 3-5-2, but whenever they lose the ball, right? Somewhere, this is me just using the starting 11. Whenever they lose the ball or they're defending, they defend in a shape similar to this, right? Then, because Chelsea is a team that has like plenty of good wingers, right? I've put in Palmer here, but Palmer didn't start. But let's just use this just to explain. Tariq George also came in later. Kukure also came in later. Caicedo, Enzo started, and then James came in as a sub. So this is, you have Neto. Let's say these two, Adebere and Chaloba, pushing up at the back. You have Neto somewhere here in the middle because he's always either trying to get into this space or he's always on the wing, right? But the moment he comes to the wing, they send Potter there and they'll send someone like Yamuluk or they'll send Thiago. So what ends up happening is that they have like a line of four. And if Neto really hugs the touchline, they actually send Luis Potter there. So then you have literally a line of four with like the fifth person going all the way out. Yamuluk then pushes back, Henderson then pushes back to kind of close the spaces, and Jensen as well. But what happens is when the ball is recycled. I don't have a ball. Where is my ball? So when the ball is recycled, right? Let's say the ball is recycled from that wing to this wing where Tariq George is. You really move the defense. When Coyote moves, Collins moves because they're working so hard. You find that Shada also comes somewhere here. They work so hard, and then Luis Potter now comes and tucks in. But what ends up happening is someone like Yamuluk and Thiago, they still know there's a threat there. Chris James coming on was very good because now he ended up pushing the defense a bit further back, right? But what ended up happening is that Henderson and Yamuluk end up being so close because they're trying to close any gaps in between here. If Pedro keeps those guys occupied, they're really trying to close gaps anyway here. So what ended up happening is like the likes of Rhys James was getting so much space. This line was actually a lot deeper. So let's just put it somewhere there. You find someone like Chris James is getting a lot of space just on the edge of the area, right? Enzo was getting lots of space on the edge of the area. Caicedo, his goal, he was getting so much space here in the on the edge of the area, right? Um, and this was even worse when it came from a set piece because let's just say that there was a corner. Let's say who takes the corner from this side? Enzo, right? Enzo is taking the corner from here. What happens is that if the corner is taken short to George, right? Kukurea would be somewhere there because he has to defend the run. Adarabioyo would be inside the box, Chaloba as well, right? Attacking threat. And then let's say James, normally your fullbacks will stay somewhere out there. What happens is you find that everyone, literally everyone, is in the box. The only person who was out at times was Shada, right? So let's say the ball comes out, Enzo pushes out. These guys would now move into literally something close to a back six. Yeah. And Thiago would be somewhere there. It was either Jensen or Yamuluk. And you find that these guys are so squeezed in the middle, they're literally like that. Literally like that. Like Shada tries to stretch the field a bit more so that at least they have an outlet, um, and he'd be marshaled. But the amount of space they were leaving over here was way too much, way too much. And he said, I'm literally going to bring in two people who are going to change this completely. Actually, he made three subs at halftime: Kukurea, James, George. But the two people who really stretched this at that point between the 46th and 56th minute were Kukurea and James. So if we look at this graphic here, this is the 52nd, 51st minute of the game. Look at all the space that Brentford end up leaving because they've pushed three people to try and get this Chelsea overload. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chelsea players on one wing. That means you're left with so much space in the middle of the park, yeah? Again, this was from a set piece. If you look at the box, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Brentford players. And that's just from the ball, a short corner being played, right? 52nd minute, they realize this. So now Rhys James has come in and he's now inverted. He's in the middle of the park. Kukurea, your fullback, has now pushed up. You can already see that they're pushing Brentford behind, but they still don't have that shape. They still don't have that shape. And the person who comes in and gives them the shape is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer comes in at exactly 56 minutes. And 57, 58, you can see the front five are all more or less in a straight line. But look at the gaps that this is leaving for Reece James to be playing into. And literally, this is a simple ball with no pressure because you're playing a whole back five. You have three in midfield. These three have to do so much running, and the two up front. And if the ball goes to the wing, one of these two has to either go out and support. So you find that so much space is being left in these areas, right? Move on to the next slide. Now, this is a perfect example. They're taking a corner, and the ball was recycled to the wing. If you look over here, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Brentford players in the box. You have a seventh one just outside the box. You have 8 Shada, and you have 9. Look at all this space. No one is covering that space. This is where Reece James goes into. This is where Tariq runs into. And this is where Enzo also runs into to just create havoc. And it was just like simple subs, and they make such a big difference. Such a big difference. In this case, you find that Reece James is getting the ball in the middle of the park. Bro, you cannot leave this Elise. You can't leave Reece James all that space in the middle of the park. And you also cannot leave Enzo all that space in the middle of the park. The reason why I'm showing this is literally a few seconds later they score from this. The person who ends up scoring is Cole Palmer. Look at him making that run across because he knows how the back line is occupied. He's coming. They're playing 5 at the front. Kukurea, who has also come on, is pushing in your fullback. They've really pushed Brentford back. Now, so Palmer makes that run. Obviously, the ball comes to Enzo, and you see Enzo here getting ready to cross that ball. And then Joao Pedro heads it down for Cole Palmer to slot it in the corner to make it 1-1. And that was not the only goal. As I've said, 2 goals. It actually affected 2 goals. This is in the 84th minute. Garnacho came on. United fans, I don't know how you feel, but Garnacho came on and played well. But then again, with Chelsea, United players come, they play well in their first 3 games, and then we never see them again. So let's see if he can build on this. Garnacho did so well. He really pressured the back line. As you can see, there's literally 3 people looking at, actually 4, looking at him. He has all the attention is on him. By the time he goes to the wing and crosses the ball, and the ball is cleared out, in this case, he's dragged how many people into the box, right? He's dragged those 4 people into the box. But not only those 4, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And obviously the goalkeeper, Kelleher, that's 10. Which means Kevin Shada should be somewhere here, right? And that is the exact place where he's not. And that is the exact place where they exploit. And that's where Caicedo gets the ball. And by the time Shada is trying to fall back, Caicedo strikes the ball and makes it 2-1.